Hi, good morning. I'm doing a live with Suzy this morning, so I'm waiting for Suzy to come on. So it would be nice for her to be here, and we're going to have a nice chat. She's really amazing, so I'm looking forward to that. So let's see what's going to happen. Suzy is interesting. She's very powerful in her words. She's strong. She's determined. She has a lot of stuff she talks about, and she's amazing. She has, I listen to some of her, quite a few of her videos, and her opinions are very strong, and she pushes them through, and she knows what she wants, and she's setting out to get after it, and it's nice. Hi, Lisa. How are you this morning? I'm waiting for Suzy to come in, so I haven't seen her yet, so we'll see. So how are you doing? Did you have more snow than we had down here? We just had a little bit of snow this morning, not too much snow. So we'll see how that is. So you can always send a little note if you want. And so let's see what happens. Suzy is supposed to be here at 9. Me too. I'm really looking forward to this to the discussion. How did you like the discussion? How did you like the morning blessing today? Did you enjoy it, or were you on? Yes, you were. It's snowing lightly. Yeah. Yes, we had some snow, not a lot. So we'll see how it all goes. So still waiting for Suzy. Coaching with Suzy. Yeah. Join. Hello, Missy. Hello.
Good morning. I guess
Good
I gotta sit
morning. How are
in my
you?
chair. Yeah,
I
I'm great.
see.
How
I
you
I
doing?
love your top. Where
Oh,
are
thank
you?
you.
In
I
what city are you in?
I'm in Greensboro, North Carolina. I live in Greensboro.
Oh, so you're warm. You have warmer weather than us.
Where you at?
Toronto,
Oh yeah,
Canada.
yeah,
That's what that says for you.
absolutely, yeah.
Our weather is fabulous.
It's a little chilly this morning, but probably nothing compared to Toronto, I'm sure.
Well, it's 32 degrees.
Oh yeah, no. It's probably like maybe 65, 50,
Yeah,
maybe like
that's what I
50 or
thought.
something
I
like
thought
that.
it was
Yeah.
warmer. Too bad. You should have to.
Everybody from the movement makers is in Canada. Does that mean I have to move to Canada?
You would love it. Remember, we have free healthcare.
I know. So many great things. I
I
know.
know.
Yeah.
It's a lovely city. I mean, it's a lovely city. There's a lot of ups and downs, but it's a great city.
Right. How long have you been there?
Oh, well, let's see, 18. My parents came from Dominica, so I'm in
Oh,
Montreal,
okay.
not the Republic, the French Island.
Uh-huh.
So in
Okay.
Montreal for most of it, and then here, what, 60 years?
Uh-huh.
No, no,
Wow.
no, 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 52 years,
Okay. You
something
you
like that.
you aging yourself.
Yeah, you know what? I don't mind it at all. I love it. I love being older. I must be the oldest person in that group.
Maybe not. I don't think
Maybe,
so.
and I don't care. I love it. And
I
so
will. I need to come
somebody said
there.
you need to come to visit
I see.
Toronto,
Yes.
so you
Firstborn
should do
leaper.
that.
Yes. Absolutely. I mean, I have like what? All of my movement maker family pretty much up there. So, I mean, I have to come and visit, once
You
this whole
should.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
When this
definitely
whole
am.
thing is over, we have to have a movement maker seminar in Toronto.
Yes. I
Everybody shows
totally
up.
agree. Yeah. Because
I think
Evan's
it's
there.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Evan's there. Like,
yeah.
yeah. You
Everybody's so
guys are
difficult.
so lucky. You guys are so lucky. You have Evan like right in your backyard.
Well, yeah, but we cannot see him any other way but how you see him too. So
Right,
there's
yeah.
no close encounter.
Right, yeah. Right, yeah.
And so, well, you would like to get started? I have some questions for you. I watched your videos, man. You have a lot of strong, powerful ideas that comes out of you. I really
Uh,
enjoyed them. I really, really like it. How many
oh,
children? Do you have
thank
any
you.
children?
I do.
Yes,
I
you do.
have
Yes,
two.
you
I
have
have
to.
two. I have my son is 24. He's a grown man. He has his own family, his own life, and I have a 12-year-old daughter. So
Oh,
it's me and her.
oh, that's cool. I have
Yeah.
three. I have three children and two grandchildren.
Oh,
And
okay.
so and you guys told my son. My son
Hmm.
studied science and stuff, and he got kidnapped from Toronto, and so
Oh,
he didn't get kidnapped. He
right,
works
right, 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 right.
he works with J&J, and he's a director at J&J
Ah,
in
okay.
the States. So he's been there for 15, 16 years. And
Wow.
so and he has a son, and then I have two other daughters. They're both here in
Oh.
Toronto, and so
Hmm.
they're grown, and that's
Hmm.
it. And so
Yep.
then
So,
go ahead.
do you have any pets or anything like that, or husband?
My husband passed away 6 years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear
Yeah,
that.
so it's I have a so I'm very busy. I have a very well before COVID. I traveled a lot. We
Oh,
always did.
okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of
Yeah.
my pictures are from traveling all over the place. I just love
Oh,
it.
wow. Me
So
too.
I don't miss it. I miss it, but I don't mind because I know I enjoy doing it. Hi Yoko,
Mm-hmm.
Yoko just joined
Hi,
us.
you go. Hi, you go.
So yeah, so I but I still enjoy being me and doing the things I love. So it's amazing to have a family, and I have great friends. I have a lot of
Mm-hmm.
I have a huge sibling brothers and sister group, and we're very close, scattered all over, some in the States, some in Europe, and in England, and
Right.
it's amazing. Still very close. So
Right. That's good.
yeah,
That's
so
good.
it's a
That's
nice
awesome.
system that we have with family and friends. So it's great.
Yes.
And
Mm-hmm.
so that's it. So what I wanted to ask you first, when
Mm-hmm.
I saw you, and then I went and I started looking at your videos,
Mm-hmm.
what what got you started, and why you chose that particular vein?
I didn't choose it. To be honest. And I really want to say that I ran from it. Um, because, you know, people don't want to hear about abuse and domestic violence. They would rather just sweep it under the rug. You know, nobody wants to hear about it, you know, and then mental and emotional abuse for me are worse. I feel now, I'm not saying that, you know, all abuse is not bad, or I don't even want to say bad, but unhealthy. But when you have someone who tries to convince you of things that you didn't do, or try to, you know, play with your emotions, it has a greater effect on your life going forward. You know, whereas physical abuse, you know, you can beat somebody up, even sexual abuse, you know, yes, it has a profound effect on us, but those scars leave. When you have dealt with years upon years upon years of mental abuse and someone just trying their best to break down your confidence every single day, to not believe in yourself, guess what? You stop believing in yourself. You stop pursuing the things that you love. You stop using your voice. And once I left that situation, I knew I had to use my voice. I knew I had to use my voice. And there's a song by Sia, and I say that it's my theme song, and it's called Bird Set Free. And I've always considered myself like a bird. Like, I've always been this tiny little girl, you know, just kind of like a Tweety bird. My mother actually drew me like a Tweety bird when I was younger. So just like Tweety bird was like one of my favorite birds. And I just always considered myself like this little fragile bird, you know, because we see birds as like fragile, you know, they're easily broken. And for, you know, I viewed myself as a bird. And then once I finally left that situation and found my voice again and began speaking and began talking and began writing and using my voice as my platform, I said, you know what? I feel like this bird has been set free. And I want more people to know. And I forgive, you know, I forgive everyone who has had a part in that mental abuse, because I realized that it just stems from what they're taught, what they went through. You know, their parents mentally abused them. Their parents broke down their confidence because guess what? Their parents broke down their confidence. It's a generational thing. It's a cycle, and it just continues to repeat until someone says enough is enough. And that's what and I know that that's what I signed up for. I hadn't always known that, and I ran from it, and I was okay with being in that situation because that's what I was used to. I was used to having my confidence broken as a little girl. My mother constantly broke my confidence. She told me day after day after day that my father never wanted me. Like, she constantly reminded me every single day that my father never wanted me. He never wanted me. He only wanted to come and pick me up to see her, and then he would just drop me off. So imagine a little girl growing up hearing that her father never wanted her. And what did I do? I went looking for these men that really never wanted me either. Never really liked me, because then guess what? I can say, oh, well, my dad never wanted me, so same must be for them too. No man will ever want me. And
that is so amazing. As you said that, I remembered a situation I encountered. I was driving and I stopped at the light, and a black lady that was maybe maybe my age, I don't know, was walking across the street with about a 3 or 4 year old little boy in her hand, holding his hand. And at that age, they want to walk and not hold hands, right? So she grabbed him and she stopped. And it was in December. My windows were down. And she said to him, you see, you're not behaving. You're not going to amount to anything. And when she said that to him, it was the funniest thing to see me do. I drove when she crossed. I went into a gas station. That was where she was crossing. She was on the sidewalk of the gas station. I parked my car. I stopped and I said, hi, ma'am, can I ask you a question? And she said to me, yes. I said, whose child is this? She said, my son's. He said, why are you telling him he won't amount to anything? How old is he? 3? Oh, he's so troublesome.
Oh, my goodness.
And I said to her, but you cannot do that. And she said, how dare you? I said, no, you cannot do that. I said, where is his father? She said, in jail. And I said, well, I said, don't you think maybe that has something to do with how I said, if you don't want to keep him, or don't put him down. I said, the world is going to do that already. And I was experiencing that. I said, you don't have to do this. And then she was older. She didn't even know what then she apologized. And she said to me, thank you. I said, no, talk to him in a way like, you know what?
Yes.
And say to him, I am teaching you how to do this. So when I am older and I cannot do it, you can hold my hand and walk me across the street. Anything. But now I have to help you because you're too young. So I told her that, and she said to me, thank you so much. And I never saw her again. And then one day I was in the supermarket and she said, hi, you remember me? I said, yes. She said, here is the little boy. And he was so well behaved. And she said, I really worked on it. You really made me think. I went home.
Yeah.
So I understand what you're saying.
We don't realize, we do not realize, like, and it's so common. And I appreciate everyone's comments and saying that that's so sad, but I have grown. I'm thankful for healing and for loving myself and for knowing that, I forgive my mom. My mom didn't know any better. Like I said, her confidence was broken. Her confidence was broken as a child. So she only was doing what she was taught, and so because I know something different, I don't teach my daughter that. I teach my daughter to believe in herself, to when she see people trying to break her confidence, know that she is so much more than that. I'm doing something different in my child's life, because I didn't do it with my son, because I still stayed in that relationship until my son was 19 years old, so, but I know, and I talk to my son and I tell him, I know I haven't always been the best mother, but know that I love you regardless of what we go through. Yes, blessings come from our pain. And I know now, that, and I tell my mother, I can forgive you because I know that you didn't know, you didn't know. But we have to speak over our children. We cannot continue to speak death into the lives of our children.
No,
You
we
know,
can't.
we
No.
can't tell them, oh, you're bad. You're just bad. You're not going to amount to anything, because
Yeah.
that has a profound effect on their, and
It
this
does.
is mental,
Yeah.
this is mental abuse.
It
That's
is
what it
emotional
is.
abuse. Yeah.
It's emotional abuse. It's mental
Yeah.
abuse. It's verbal abuse. We are tearing down our children. And so this is why, especially men, because I realized that even after I was in these domestic violence situations, that I know, guess what? Just like you said, you saw that woman, guess who was she doing it to? A boy. She was telling a 3-year-old boy that he would never amount to anything. And it starts so young with our men. It starts so young. And I'm going to get emotional because we tell them all the time that they're bad. And then, like, don't let a boy be born to a single mother, because she's out working and not paying attention to him. And he might have some anger or some sadness that he's going through. And she's not there to hold him and say, just cry. Just let him cry. Like, our men, they're constantly told to hold in their emotions, to not feel what they're feeling. They're called punks and fags when they express their emotions. They're asked if they're little girls. Their emotions and their feelings are not recognized. And so they grow up not being able to be emotionally available to their women, to their children. And they take that pain and that anger out on the women and children, because they never learned how to process it correctly.
But, what I found in our race in particular, we don't celebrate our daughters as much as we celebrate our sons. And I'll tell you what I have observed, and that is something in our race particular. Our biggest go-to is to pray. Everything about our race is we pray,
right.
we believe, we over pray. Because we pray so hard that we cannot, there's no other way to pray. Okay? Things we don't do with our sons, and we don't do it as women. We don't teach the boys to respect women from an early age.
Yes.
And that is something that is deep in our own race. And it's a religious thing. It's a religious thing. I am Catholic.
Yes.
I was born and raised Roman Catholic. And when there was a woman, a black lady, who found out she was angry at me, and she said, you guys pray to Mary. And that is not right. You should go to Jesus. And being the saucy I am, I said to her, well, without Mary,
that's
there
right,
would be no Jesus. And
right.
I said, you go straight to the top. I said, if she, and I cannot say what I said to her, but I said, that God you worship, he could have decided to have his son born from a tree if he so chose to. But he chose this 12-year-old girl. And I said, every pain that you endure as a mother giving birth, and every pain she went through. I said, how would you like if your son's best friends were fishermen and thieves and prostitutes? I said, this is what you're carrying with you in that Bible. That's what it said. You wouldn't like that. But she had to endure that. So we go to her because she's like a conversational piece that you will never understand. But I said, if you had just spent more time and telling him about Jesus had a mother, and she had to go and teach him how to respect girls, and don't make him feel he's better than his sisters. And I said, this is 10:30 at night. I need to go home. And I'm sitting here in my ceramic studio waiting for your son, who was supposed to pick you up at 10 o'clock at night. And it's 10:30 and he's not here yet. I have to go. And now I'll have to drive you home. And if you had just taught him to respect women, he would have realized how important it is to be here today for you.
Well,
so it was
so funny. Well, I think too, a lot of people, for me, respect really can't be taught. It has to be given,
Yes.
and a lot of mothers, who are raising these boys don't even respect themselves. So they can't show properly how a man is supposed to respect a woman, because a lot of these women are in, abusive relationships themselves, or messing around with men who are messing around with multiple women. So how is a little boy supposed to know how to truly respect a woman when his mother doesn't even respect herself enough to say, no, I am not going to deal with any man who puts his hands on me, talks to me any kind of way, or is messing with multiple women. He needs to learn from his mother when he sees his mother respecting himself, with herself. So if a little boy grows up in a household where a mother is constantly being talked down to by a man, is constantly being abused by a man, is constantly cheating with being cheated on by another man, guess what he's going to do? He's going to follow after that pattern, because guess what? I saw my mother put up with it, so it must be okay, and it's not okay. So as women, we have to first respect ourselves enough to say no. We have to love ourselves enough to say it's okay for me to be by myself until I have someone that's in my life that is actually respectful to me, because I respect myself. So I'm not going to stand for anything. I'm not going to settle less for anything just because I want a warm body, just because I want somebody there because I'm lonely. Our boys need to see, especially a woman who is raising a son, he needs to see that, or else if he doesn't see his mother respecting herself enough to stay by herself and teach him, then she can teach him, this is how you respect a woman, because she respects herself. Respect is not earned. You got to give respect first off, and if people don't respect you, then, it's not earned. No, respect is given. I respect you immediately. I'm going to offer you that respect. And a lot of people don't go out respecting other people. And then women who are raising boys, a lot of the times they're taking out their past pain from other men onto the sons. Because guess what? That's a man that they can mold and have him do whatever they want him to do. So let
me ask you a question. What type of obstacles do you come across when you're trying to bring this type of awareness to a man and explain that? Because your message is more to them. You're strengthening the woman, but you're telling the men that I am strengthening the women to deal with you. So let me see what I can help you with. What type of obstacles you get, or what type of resistance from men if you have to talk to a man? Have you had that?
Well, a lot of men are afraid. And the fear stems from the first woman that they've ever trusted to love them, to guide them, to nurture them, who said that she loved them and abused them, and that's their mother. So a lot of men are afraid to talk to a woman because of the betrayal of his own mother. And so, they grow up and automatically every woman is like his mother. Every woman is like his mother. So if a boy had a controlling and manipulative mother, a mother who wasn't there, a mother who ignored him, abandoned him, rejected him, then the same thing as me. He's going to expect all women to be like that. And that's why I do what I do for men, because I feel that I resonate more with them in that area, because I didn't grow up with my mother. I didn't grow up with my father. My father died when I was 5, and my mother was in jail pretty much all my life. My grandmother raised me, but my grandmother worked at a bar. So my grandmother wasn't even there. She was gone like 8 o'clock to like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. So I pretty much really raised myself. My aunts and uncles were there, but I mean, they had their own thing, and it's kind of like I was an outsider, because I really wasn't one of their siblings. I was their niece. I really did have to raise myself, and a lot of men are like that. A lot of men are expected to pretty much raise themselves. and children should not be responsible for raising themselves. They need that guidance. They need that nurturing. They need that love. They need that attention, and so I found myself looking for these things as I was growing up. And I too was an emotionally unavailable woman until I started to heal that. But then once I started to heal it, I'm like, oh my goodness, there are so many men who are just like me, and I really do want to talk to them and speak to them and let them know that, guess what? There's somebody here that understands exactly where you are. And I want to be that inspiration and that example to you, to show you how to get through the pain of your past, and to heal that inner wounded child who didn't receive all that he needed to receive, so that you too can love yourself, so that when you encounter a woman who has not healed from her past, you won't put yourself in that situation, because I think a lot of men, they get themselves in these situations, because I did too, thinking that you got to fix somebody, because you think you're so broken. Well, we don't need to be fixed. We just need to be loved correctly, and that's what we're missing. The inner child is missing that love that he or she never received as a child. So we're going around thinking that we're these broken people who need fixing, so a lot of men try to fix women. And I was a woman who was trying to fix men, so instead of me getting into these relationships trying to fix men, I said, you know what if I just became their coach, or, a friend that they could talk to? Because even with doing this Instagram live, I don't even really want to be a coach. I want them, if they just need somebody to talk to know that I'm there, because a lot of men can't feel that they can't talk to their significant others, their mothers, because guess what? A lot of times when they go and talk to them, guess what happens? They get yelled at, they get cussed at, they get talked down to, the same stuff that they dealt with as a child, and a man is looking for someone who understands him, not someone who's going to talk down to him or treat him like he's less than something, but understand, and I just really want more men and women to realize that we are not against each other. None of us are, not even as far as races. We're not against each other. All this shit is an illusion. Like when we come together and work as a team, so many great things happen. I'm not better than a man, and a man is not better than me.
No, he's not. Nobody is.
Nobody is.
Nobody.
We were created to walk side by side in this life. That's to help each other, to grow with each other, even as even as friends. We're here to walk beside each other. I have so much to learn from you. You have so much to learn from me.
Oh, yes.
So
oh, yes.
we all do. We all do.
That's why when I saw your video, I wanted to make sure that I got in. I saw you, I think, doing a IG live, and I dropped in and checked on you. You weren't with anybody. You were by yourself, and you were doing that. And I liked it. And
thank you.
I come from a background of finance, because
I do too.
I ended up. And I wrote a book on finance at the time, and it was for people just starting off. So anyway, one thing led to another, and I am coaching or helping people who came to me for financial assistance. Not money, but to teach them how to be successful financially, how to get their own home, or how to get out of debt, which is always the big thing. And in the conversation, throughout the coaching session, hours and hours and hours, I realized, like what you said, it wasn't finance that was broken. Yes. Finance was just one of the pillars.
Yes.
So then I created these 5 pillars, and I call them the 5 pillars of prosperity. I meditate a lot, and things pop in. So emotional prosperity, mental prosperity, physical prosperity, spiritual prosperity, and financial prosperity.
Yes.
And it wasn't, I realized, oh my God, it's not the finances, it's just a cause.
Yes.
It's just happening. It's just one of them. Which one started the story?
Yes.
And I found out it was a young man. His wife was making more money than he did. And that really was degrading for him. And it just made him get worse in all different areas. He was spiritual. He was a Seventh-day Adventist. And all of a sudden, he gave that up. So all the pillars were crap. And if they are, you cannot hold up. Anything cannot be held. The person that is depending on these 5 things to keep them alive is not going to be successful.
Right.
So that is exactly what you talked about, emotion. But the emotional balance is awful. And you're doing a great job. You're trying to teach them. I looked at it really well. Although you said you're trying to, it's a man. But I noticed by what you're saying, you're telling the women, you are just perfect. You don't have to take this.
Yeah.
You don't have to be happy in a situation that is not good for you.
Yes.
Abusive. And at the same time, you're telling the men, we don't want to be treated like that.
Right.
You shouldn't treat us like that.
We're not
going to take it.
We're not going to be treated like that, you
No,
know. But I also understand. I also understand where you have come from, and that's why I'm here. You know, not as your queen, but as another queen to inspire you to your healthiest and greatest version of yourself. Because I understand where you come from, but although I understand it, I don't excuse it. Because there's no excuse for it, because you can go through your healing. And I love that we resonate and connect on that level, because that's exactly my program. That's exactly what I teach, because I want people to know the importance, because I actually start with the mental, because I believe everything is with the mental. Once you get this mental fixed, then everything else, then you can work on it. Then you can work on you can work on your emotions. Then once you get in touch with your emotions, guess what happens then? Oh my goodness, you get in touch with spirituality. Then once you get in touch with that spirituality, it's like, oh my goodness, I want my whole entire life to be whole and healthy. So then you start working on your physical. Then you start working on your relational with other people, and then your finances. You know, so it's all come together. But it first starts with your mental. And if you've been mentally abused from the time of the age of 3, and that's why I say most men have, their confidence has been broken before the age of 10. And this is why most men die before the age of 50, because they have no clue on how to take care of themselves, how to love themselves, and how to nurture their mind, how to take care of their mental health. They were never taught this, because you know what? They were taught to mask their emotions. They were told to.
For you, I don't want to cut you. I have another question, and I want you to answer this one. When you come across a female that believes that if she stays with this man, and she can, in some cases, they believe they can pray him to be healed. They can pray for him to change, not heal, but to change to be what they want. How do you coach someone that tells you, I'm staying with him because I know I can fix him. I know he needs this. What do you say?
What I say is that stop trying to play God. Stop trying to play God, because none of us are anybody's God. God lives on each of us, inside each of us individually. You are not that man's God. And you're trying to change someone to fit into your ideal, your perfection. And that you don't love that person. You don't love that person, because once he does change and you fix him, guess what's going to happen? You still not going to like him. You still going to need you still going to have some other complaint about that man. So the best thing for you to do is to go and get in touch with yourself. And then that way you can know that, you know what? Any man that I get involved with, if I don't like him exactly as he is when I meet him, if I see, if he just did this, if he just did that, then I would like him. No, that's not the one for you. Because the one for you, you're never going to need to change. Ever. Ever. Even if you see more potential in him than he sees in himself. When he presents that to you, then you just simply say, yes, babe, yeah, absolutely do that. You know, like you support him in what he's doing. Or if you don't agree with it, then you say, you know what, babe, to be honest, I really don't think that that's the best decision for you, you know, but you'll never have to change that person. And the thing is about when you meet your person, the greatest thing happens. You yourself want to change. You yourself. You're like, oh my goodness, this is the one for me. And I see all of these things that are in me, not in him, in me. I see all these things in me that I could possibly hurt him. And I don't want to hurt him. That's how I felt anyway.
Yeah, I get that. So why do the religious will tell us that you can pray to God to fix this person for you? Now, my answer to that was when somebody told me, I'm just praying for God to fix him. And I said, well, you're telling the God you worship you don't like his creation.
Right, yes.
Said, how does that work? I said, you're telling him he did a great job with you,
but
he did a horrible job with this one. So I want to know, why. What kind of God is that you believe?
Right. Yeah.
You can believe him and twist him. And people make statements like, when God comes to destroy all these gay people, I don't want to be living next to him, to these gay people. And I'm saying, well, you meant to say that God that is so good, if he has
hates people, right?
And when he's going to aim to destroy something, that he'll be so off target that he will hit you. Think about it. So where is your faith? So this is what I don't understand, and I just want to hear from you what you think of that.
And like again, it's all mindset, and so you know, or sometimes I would say this, you know, and a lot of times I will say, like, I'll put myself in that situation. I'll say, you know what? I was right in your shoes. You know, I stayed with the man for 20 years trying to fix him and change him because I wanted him a certain way. And instead of me allowing God to be God and listen to my intuition when it was telling me this is not the man for you, I'm staying trying to control. You know, a lot of the times we have to have this need for control because our lives are out of control. My life was out of control. And so I felt I needed to control this man, you know, and the same thing, you know, on his part, because our lives were out of control. We were out of control in every area, in every pillar of our lives: financial, physical, relational, emotional, spiritual, and mental, you know. So how would I coach somebody like that? I'm just share my story. Just share my story of, you know, surrendering control to the universe. You know, once I surrendered control to the universe, and that's not saying that I don't pray for people's hearts, because it's not about changing people. It's about people healing their inner wounds. Because the reason why people act out or hurt people or do the things that they do is because they are hurting on the inside and they don't know how to change that. They don't know the proper ways to go about doing that. You know, and a lot of times when we're trying to fix people and change people, it's because we need to do it for ourselves, but we're not ready. But we're not ready. We're not ready to do it for ourselves, right? So we want to talk about that plank in your eye. Let me fix the plank in your eye first. No, fix it in you first, and then everything that's inside of you will begin to reflect outside of you. Because right now, what you're seeing in him is also in you. So if you want things to change in him, then fix it in you. And then if it doesn't change in him, then you know that that's not the one. Because the one for you, when they see you growing, they're going to be like, oh no, you're not about to outgrow me. We're about to grow together.
Yeah, they're going to jump on the bandwagon. Yeah, they're going to say, okay, I'm coming too. You're not leaving me behind.
I'm coming too.
Yeah.
So what I would tell that person is focus on you. Make the focus about you. And everything that you that you feel that you need to fix within you, that you need to heal within you, that you need to work on with you, do that for you. And that's the same thing that I did. I began working on myself in 2006. I asked him if he wanted to come. He said no, but I continued to grow. And guess what happened? We grew apart.
Well, you grew because your frequency changed,
right,
your vibration changed.
Yes, absolutely.
And once you change your vibration and your frequency, it is very difficult for someone with a low vibration or a low frequency to see and to understand it or to hold up. They don't even see it. They see it as, oh my God, I cannot do that. It's almost like you have a light and they're blinded by that light.
Well, yeah, what happens is your light begins to shake up that darkness that's in them, and they don't like the way that feels. They don't like the way, because it's uncomfortable. When you begin to shake up that darkness, when you begin to excavate that dark stuff and go through that, it hurts. Like, that's a different kind of pain than staying in the pain that you're used to. You know, when you're in that comfortable place of pain, it's like, oh no, I don't want to step outside this. Like, that's a different kind of pain. So when my light began to shine too brightly, it started to rumble that darkness, you know. And so, you know, things began to happen, and I'm like, you know what? No, I can't stay in this situation anymore, because I got someplace else to be. You know, doesn't mean that I don't love you, you know, but I know now, and hadn't always known that I'm growing away from you, because you're still in that place of pain and you want to stay there, and I no longer want to stay there. I want to show my children something different. So, yeah, you got to. And that's another thing about bringing your voice to the world too. It's going to shake. It's going to shake up some people.
It's going to shake up. Yeah, you're
yes.
Going to shake up. Yes.
Yeah,
but
you're going to.
When you conquered that, when you started realizing that your vibration and your energy and your light was shining, that was all around you, that was within you. How did it affect you physically, your walk, your stance, your attitude? How did it affect that?
Well, it gave me back my confidence, that's for sure. But it's also a humbling experience too. You know, like, you know,
were you frightened of the new you?
A little bit. Sometimes she still scares me. Sometimes I still feel like I need to tone her down, but then the universe reminds me, no, do not do any of that. You know, be you. I need for you to be the authentic you, because that's the people who vibrate with you and align with you are going to come with you. You know, never be afraid of who you are, because the right people will love you, even if you have to go through years of the wrong people not loving you. You know, you will get to that place where the universe aligns the right people who support you, who love you, who enjoy your energy, your vibrancy. Yes, you go, be you, be you. The most, I created a quote, a meme, or whatever you want to call it, and that said, the most beautiful thing that you could ever do, or I forget what it is, I'll post it later, is be the authentic, chaotic, and beautiful and unique you. You know, like, you have to be you. And so many of us are afraid of what other people are going to think of us, you know, because, you know, but guess what? Even the people who think negatively of you, they're still watching you. They're still watching you. They might not ever tell you that you impacted them, but they're still watching you. They're still watching you. They're still learning from you. So continue
some of them tell me I am too much.
And continue to be too much. Continue to be too much. Too much is needed.
Yeah. Oh, you are too much, they say to me. And I
too much is needed. Too much is needed.
That's because you are not enough.
Right. You limiting yourself. You're right. You have so much power within you. So yes, you damn right. I'm going to be too much, but you can be too much too.
It's
You
up
can
to
be too
you.
much too.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can choose your journey. It's up to you.
Yes.
Choose your
We
journey.
already chose it. We already
Yeah.
chose it. You're just afraid of it.
Yeah.
But I
That's
was
true.
there. I was afraid of it too. Even now, with this whole confidence coaching with men, I'm like, okay, universe, you said this is what I'm supposed to do, right? This is how I talk to the universe. Like, okay,
Well,
where
I
they
said
at?
to the universe, you told me just open my mouth and you'll tell me what to say.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's
Right.
open. So let's do this.
Right. Yeah. I'm doing it. Okay. I'm walking, universe. Now what?
Yeah, it's up to you. My mouth is open. Come
Right.
on.
Yeah. Right. Absolutely. I'm walking. So
And
yeah.
because even last night, was it last night? The one I did, the IG live I did with myself last night, I did it on the creative power of your words.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
we talked about how your words affect you so much.
Yes.
And that your words belong to you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not for somebody else. All what you say starts with you, it ends with you, it's yours, you own it. And that is something we have to learn to do and just stay there and realize we have our own power and nobody can take it unless we say, here, destroy
we
me.
give it away. We give our power
unless
away.
We give it away,
And that's what it took. It took me years to realize that, that man never had power over me. I gave him that power because I looked to him like he was my God. Because I didn't know, I didn't have that spiritual connection with the universe, whatever you want to call it, the universe, God. It's everything to me. It's everything. Mother Nature, Mother Earth, Source, Prana-Chi.
And the sweetest part is that it's inside of you.
It's inside of you. How awesome is that? It does not reside in a building.
It's not outside of you.
Yes, it's not in a building. It's not in a religion. It's inside of you.
Inside of you.
And yes, and if you want to go and support a religion, great. If not, that's great too. Because guess what? God's inside of you. God is inside of you.
It doesn't matter where you go, you're taking it with you.
Living and breathing and guiding you the whole way. The whole way. It's in you. And once you tap into that power, once you realize, oh my goodness, the same power that created everything lives on the inside of me.
Of me? Nothing can stop you.
That means I can create anything I want to too. I'm a creator too.
Of course you are.
Yeah.
So that is something, it's confidence, like you were saying. A lot of us lack that deep confidence.
Yes.
I try to express that by saying, spend time with yourself.
Well, I'm going to tell you about that. People are afraid because, see, when you spend time with yourself, God begins to stir up some things. And you begin to think that you're crazy. You begin to say things, and people get to look at you like you're crazy, and you like, oh my goodness, they think I'm crazy. They're gonna have me committed. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the truth, and this goes again to say we're concerned with what people think about us instead of going inside and listening. Because when we start talking and stuff and people get to looking at, honey, I can't tell you how many times my family looked at me like I was crazy, told me I was worshiping the devil, told me that I was doing voodoo, like all kind of stuff. And I'm like, you know what? Think whatever you want to think, because I know that it's a whole mindset thing, because you were taught one way, but believe me, baby, when I say when you go inside and get in touch with that spiritual part of you, God will begin to show you so many things, so many different avenues to talk, to meditate, to just hear, to get that guidance. Stop keeping God in a box. God is all encompassing. God is all encompassing. Everything on this earth was meant for us to enhance our spirituality. It was meant to enhance our connection, our deep connection with the universe. And so many of us are disconnected, and that's why we're in judgment of another person, because we're disconnected. Right. We're disconnected from our truth. And so we're okay with living a lie. And that's saying that my truth is your truth, because we all have a different journey. But find your truth and stop listening to somebody else's truth. That's a truth that was taught to you from generation to generation. But go in search of your truth, because God gave you a truth.
Find your own you. Find your true north
Find
star.
your get in tune with God and find your truth, and then step out in your truth. And watch how boldly, courageously, because don't fear, because God got your back. The universe will always have your back when you are walking. When you are walking in your truth.
It's all of your belief. You have to know
But that's where that confidence, once you tune in and tap in, then you know and that's what happened for me. That's how I was able to have that deep trust. You know, before this whole journey, my family, they would always say, "Oh, you got crazy faith." And I do. I got crazy confidence, but it's not confidence in myself only. It's confidence in the universe. You know, I don't stand alone on this thing. When I'm weak, that is my strength. You know, I'm never alone in this thing. And for so many years, I thought I was alone. And I finally got into my sweet spot, and I'm loving it here.
I'm loving it here. I can tell, but that is all what it is to be able to see it. And what comes out is the true you. And as I said, the light can be blinding. And we have to understand, because of the intensity of our light, our vibration, our frequency, we are going to have others that are going to cover their head and run away from it, because they cannot face the brightness. They cannot understand. They don't understand where we are coming from with that. And there's nothing we can do. And it's great, because all we can say for us, this work. We are not telling you must follow that path, but we're telling you, if you're hurting, find out why. If you cannot see, if you're not feeling the serum of joy coursing through your body, find out why.
Find out why. And if you don't know, then reach out to somebody. That's why I'm here. That's why you're here. If you don't know, ask questions. That's why I do the lives. That's why you do the lives, to ask questions. But when you said like shine, and faith like gravity, said put shades on, like every time, what I think about is Rihanna's song, "Shine Bright Like a Diamond." Shine bright like a diamond.
And you are.
Shine your light.
You are a precious stone. And each one of you, male or female, you are that precious thing. And you have to know. But when you know it, nothing, absolutely nothing shakes that from you. It's an amazing power. And confidence doesn't run in my family, it gallops. Like everybody in my family has that same intensity of confidence, and it was nurtured. So one of the things that I can send out to somebody is that it's okay to be you.
Yes.
And don't be afraid. It
is okay.
You cannot expect to please everybody.
You're not going to. You're not.
It's no point.
Actually, you probably gonna piss a lot of people off. Actually,
most likely you do.
You're gonna piss a lot of people off because how dare you? How dare you be confident? How dare you walk in your authentic life? How dare you?
The clothes you put on.
How dare you? Absolutely.
They'll ask you, what are you wearing? Why are you so dressed up? Why are you doing this? It's always a why, and you don't have to answer that. Your why can be because I want to, because that's what
I don't owe nobody no explanation. If I want to get up,
and you don't even have to answer that.
If I want to get up this morning and look cute, I can. If I want to get up this morning and look a mess, I can.
You can. It's a choice. It's always a choice.
Right.
It's the only judge is the one in the mirror.
Yep, that's it.
And like Faith said, if it's too bright, get your shades on.
Get your shades on.
Because I am not going to hide.
Right. Put your shades on, because I'm here now. Look, I hid for too many years. Okay, so you got to deal with me now, or either don't.
My light is shining, and I put your shades on. You cannot take the light. Put your shades on. And that I just learned that, so I'm going to use that. Put your shades on.
Yes, yeah. Or turn on your iPod and turn on Rihanna, like "Shine Bright Like a Diamond," and then get to like modeling. Like, oh no, you said I was too much. Watch this.
I know. That was a wonderful IG live. Oh my God.
Yes, it was. I felt that energy. That was so much great energy. I loved
Can
it.
you
Yes.
imagine the energy is going right through the phone, right through the
Yes.
system? Energy was, it was great. I
Yes.
enjoyed it. I am
Yes.
really, really, really happy that I connected with you. And
Yes, I am too. I'm looking
I,
forward to it. Yes,
yeah, we have
absolutely.
another one. Is it tomorrow?
Tomorrow on my channel. Yep.
So,
Yeah.
so it's going to be you calling me and getting me hooked up. I'm looking forward to that. I
No, you
don't have.
have to call me this time. You have to come on mine this time.
Yes, yes, I know.
Cause I thought it was mine today, and I'm like, well, where is she? Cause I started the live, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'm supposed to be on hers.
It doesn't. It doesn't matter. It was great. So tomorrow, I'm sure you're. I don't have. I wrote my questions. I wanted to really ask questions, and you answered all of them. It was so beautiful.
Thank you. Yes,
I,
I'll have to
I,
come up with some questions tomorrow and see.
well, you you have to get to know me a little better. I'm sure you do now. So you have a lot of
Yeah.
questions, and but it
Right,
was
and
a great,
we're
great.
family. We're family. We're
We're
the
family.
movement makers.
We're movement makers, and
Yes.
we're making movement. I
Yes.
am
Yes,
going to
we
I'm
are.
going to try to save this video. I hope I can. Sometimes you
Okay.
don't get it done, and then I'll see what we can do with it. So thank
Yeah.
you so much, Faith.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you, Firstborn Lisa. Thank you guys for joining. You go. Bye bye.
Thank you, Corinne. Thank you, Lisa, Faith, Yoko. Bye, guys.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.